special person to the show. Been wanting this person on.
Yeah, you've been excited about this.
This show started 3 years ago. Coming up next week, it's going to be on 3 years.
He's a hypochondriac, so he's wanted you on for 3 years.
No, because for the past 20 years, especially when we were doing stories involving Dr. Patricia Quinlisk from the Iowa Department of Public Health, especially when news stories were being read, people hated it because whenever your name would be read, I'd always say, medicine woman. Afterwards, Dr. Quinlisk, medicine woman. And there's some people that might be so young they don't know what I'm talking about, like our graphics person. You were not real familiar with.
I've watched it. I know who she is.
Eric, go to the surface there. This is what we're talking about.
I watched the show. I mean,
forget?
there was a good-looking male in the TV show.
Yeah,
I
and
watched.
it's Jane Seymour. You're being compared to Jane Seymour. You can't argue with that. But tell everybody what your role is here, because in the one, just for the record.
Okay. Well, I'm the state epidemiologist and the medical director of the Iowa Department of Public Health. So most people don't know what that means, but basically it's my job to keep the 3 million people of Iowa healthy.
And there's
Good luck.
I know.
And there's been a lot of things going around too. The reason we brought you here is because there's been some strange bugs going around, and people have been getting really sick really fast too. What's going on with that?
Well, people think the flu is gone. It's not. We're still having quite a few people coming down with a strain of flu called flu B. Usually doesn't make you quite as sick as the regular flu that we saw this winter, but can put you in bed for a couple days. And then, of course, we always have just the everyday respiratory viruses going around. They're called adenoviruses and coronaviruses, or as my mother said, the creeping crud.
The creeping crud.
And it doesn't go away.
No.
Like, we both caught something a little bit different. His was more stomach. Mine was all right here. But it's like, even though we're over it and feeling better, it's still like, it's not wanting to leave.
Yeah, those viruses can knock you out for a while. One of the things people don't realize is viruses will lower your immune system for a while, which means that for the next couple days or maybe a week, you're susceptible to getting something else because your immune system's been sort of overwhelmed by trying to get rid of that first virus.
Been depleted, huh?
And if you add stress and being tired
That's
to
right.
that, I'm sure it doesn't help.
Now, you mentioned the flu is still hanging around a little bit. People might have thought it's already gone now.
Yeah, but it's not.
No.
It's still around there. We're still having a handful of people hospitalized every week because of the flu.
Wow.
So it's still out there. It's still a bad bug, and we still need people to do things like cover the cough, to cough into their elbow, to keep their hands clean, and of course, if you're sick, to stay home so you don't take the bug into work with you.
That is great advice. And Jackie's going to leave now.
Jackie's gone.
You know, it's too late now. You already infected us. Get back here. You already infected us. But let's talk about the flu here real quick again. A lot of people had some discussions about whether or not the flu vaccination was something you should or shouldn't do. And we all got it. We got it on the air.
We've all been vaccinated.
We did it on the air.
Yeah.
We still got a little bit of sick, but I feel like we didn't get to the extent of we could have.
No,
Maybe,
I certainly didn't get the flu. Yeah.
Well, the flu vaccine is always a good idea. It boosts your immune system, it gives you some resistance, but I'll just be honest with you, it's not a perfect vaccine. Probably with healthy people, about 80% of people, you'll get a pretty good response. It probably should stop you from getting ill at all, but especially with their older people and the school kids and stuff, sometimes they'll get that virus and get such a whopping infectious dose of that virus they get sick anyway, but then the vaccine may stop them from being hospitalized or getting really sick. So not a perfect vaccine, but certainly better than anything else we've got out there.
Can you talk about vaccines for a moment? Because there still seems to be controversy, even though, as Jason always says, there's a ton of evidence that shows that we should be getting in, and people like you saying it's important. People are still on the cliff about it.
I don't understand it, to be honest. All the science shows that the vaccines work, that it keeps us healthy, and that when we see something like the Disneyland outbreak of measles, it's really important because you never know when that person standing next to you is going to have something like measles. So by getting the vaccines, you keep yourself healthy. And one of the things that we saw at Disneyland is when you get sick, you may not realize it right away, and you can still spread that disease to other people. So you need to get the vaccine to keep yourself well and to protect all those people around you.
Now, did you get vaccinated?
Absolutely.
All right, double checking.
I imagine your biggest unnecessary headache last year was the Ebola and all the headlines involving that.
Yeah, and we're actually still having people come to Iowa from West Africa. Most of them, of course, have not seen anybody with Ebola or whatever, but we still put them under what we call public health order. We ask them for 21 days, take their temperature twice a day, and just report to us, just so we make sure that they don't get sick. And we're doing that just, again, to keep the public healthy, and should they start getting a fever, that we can get them into health care in a safe way, in a secure way, so they don't spread it to anybody else, just on that very, very remote chance that they might have Ebola.
What about our healthcare system keeps things like that from spreading?
Well, one of the great things that's happened over the winter is we've had 3 hospitals sort of come up to the base and say, look, we'll help you make sure that we can see patients like this who have Ebola or other sort of strange or unusual things and do it in a safe way. So we've had 2 hospitals here in Des Moines say, we are now going to be able to take a person for a couple days while we try to test them and see if they've got Ebola. And University of Iowa Hospital basically said, if we had to, we could take a patient with Ebola, care for them for the whole transition time of their illness, and make sure we do it in a safe way. Now, that took a lot of effort on the part of those hospitals. But the good thing is now, should we have somebody tomorrow, maybe not with Ebola, but for some other strange disease that comes from somewhere.
Is there anything else out there?
There certainly are. Not right now, but there's certainly other diseases, loss of fever, Marburg, things like that, that travelers could pick up and come back with. But now we have 3 hospitals that would always be able to take care of people who might have one of these unknown or very deadly diseases, and we here in Iowa can take care of those people safely.
That is great. I'm so glad you're in charge of all this. This is so cool. Here's where to get some more information about everything Dr. Quinlisk talked about. Just go utilize the site and take advantage of all the offerings here in the state of Iowa. We need to have you on more often.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Can you? Sure.
I would be glad to.
That is great, because we even have something all set up for you for the next time you come back. Here's what we have.
Yeah. How about that? I want that guy.
See?
That's what I want. The guy standing behind me.
We're awesome. So next time you're here, we'll use that to intro you.
That's fantastic.
We'll have it all set to go. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on the show. It's 9:20. We'll be right back, folks. You're watching Great Day Live on KC.